All right, we're in the Hall Brothers Racing pits right now. We're with team owner Tim Hall. Behind us, Mark Hall's Raminator truck. Running strong most of the day-to-day. They had a little bit of trouble earlier in the second show, a little bit of trouble in racing. But first, we're going to talk to Tim a little bit, back up. They've had quite a week getting here to Springfield, Illinois. This track is only about an hour and a half from Champaign, but Tim, you've had a lot of driving just to get here.
Yeah, we started off in Memphis. We had to, well, actually, back before that, we started off in Detroit. We had to take a semi to Detroit, get a trailer all wrapped up with a new Dodge.com wrap that we're doing a program with them for NASCAR. And then we had to go from Detroit to Memphis and get everything set up for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck race that happens this weekend there. And then once we got that set up, and Dale Mitchell and Andy Justice kind of took over running it for us, some buddies from Memphis that race, in monster trucks too. And then we came back up here and started in up here, and then we've got we're using everybody that we know. We got guys in Fairbury at a speedway in Fairbury, Illinois tonight. We got Daryl just did a display for us over in St. Mary's, Ohio this weekend. So lots of things going on. But here today, we this is good old Springfield. We wanted to get us some more wins here, and Jeremy won earlier today, and we were on our way tonight, and just didn't happen. But that's okay. We got one more tomorrow.
Well, overall, you got to be a lot happier with the track conditions today versus last year. We were all here last year. It's about one of the muddiest races I've ever seen personally. We were up to our arms and elbows in mud. So tell us about the track a little bit today. It was a little tackier this morning, kind of dry slick this afternoon. How were you pleased with how it came around? The truck seemed to respond well.
Yeah, they did a really good job on the track. Greg Fuchs and his guys always do a great job, and they really did here too. They had a really good racetrack. We could get a hold of it well. Everything was good there. Just one of these deals, for us today. It was so good, the traction was, that we twisted a dry shaft up, and then with the mud races running late, we didn't quite have enough time between shows to get everything fixed before we had to race this afternoon. So we hoped it would make it. We kind of figured it probably wouldn't, but we tried to make it as far as we could, and it made it to the final round there or whatever. It was it was going good. It just didn't hold long enough. So that's just the way it goes, I guess.
Well, you guys have built up a really great points lead in the Jamboree Series already. In fact, this afternoon was the first race. A Hall Brothers truck, if I'm not mistaken, hasn't even won an event this year. So really not too bad. You're coming in really strong. If you can finish up strong tomorrow, we don't have that many races left on the series, so you got to be really optimistic about your chances the rest of the year.
Yeah, I guess, we are pretty proud of that. We've won, I guess, 11 out of 12 of them now, so that's pretty good. Well, that's remarkable. If you tell me at the beginning of the year we'd be right there, I'd be pretty happy with that. But once you win those races, then you get hungry to win more, and of course you want to try to win them all. That'd be good. But you're right. It's been a remarkable year this year, and we're on our way to. We're going to pick right back up tomorrow, start a new streak, and see if we can't win this baby tomorrow.
All right. Well, thanks for your time. Appreciate it, and best of luck tomorrow.
Thanks.
That pretty much concludes it from the Hall Brothers pits here at the second annual O'Reilly Auto Parts 4-Wheel Jamboree Nationals. All right, we're here in the Big Dog Tailgator pits. Just Tailgator this weekend. We got Doug Nelke, driver of Tailgator. Doug, kind of an on and off day. Had a little bit of frustration, a lot of mechanical work going on. Tell us a little bit about what happened.
We went out racing, and everything was going good. Went out to freestyle and trying to get one of them good old wheelies going on, and I guess I planted the rear end of the old Gator a little bit too hard in the ground, and the rear end come ripping out. And broke a limiting strap, obviously, and pulled the shocks apart. And I didn't know it, and it went to hit another stack. So I made a mess of my left side shocks. But we thrashed, got it back together for the next show, and then it went out and tore up a rear end, I guess. So we're going to fix that tonight.
All right, so you're definitely having some problems in the rear there. Do you think the ring and pinion problem might have been something that was related to the earlier incident when you did your slap wheelie and kind of stuck her in the back there? We were over on that part of the track. We heard a loud noise. We heard the shocks, everything breaking, the nitrogen coming out. It was really messy, man. I mean, you put on a good show for us, but do you think the ring and pinion going out might have been related to that at all, or you just think it's kind of the hard, brutal track conditions today?
No, it probably did have. It probably started knocking that pinion bearing out of there. You know all about that stuff. Because we were going rounds in the racing. It was doing some good, solid passes, and then when I came back, something actually that last pass, it didn't. Something was feeling, I felt something dragging in the truck. Came back, and then we went out to freestyle and made a few hits, and it was really bad. It was getting ugly, so we stopped.
Yeah. Well, you should be pretty set for tomorrow. You had a great set of tires on the back here. In fact, you pulled the front wheels off the ground over the roller hill several times. Got to be happy with that. What do you think your chances are tomorrow? Looking forward to going a few more rounds?
Oh, yeah, I need to get back to winning, man. the truck's hooking up great. You know, like I said, we're playing with this thing now that we're getting past this transmission issue and we're working on shocks. But I mean, the thing is leaving hard. I just got to get it to settle down in between the cars so I can stay in the thing and not lift. Lift, you lose, man. That's the way it is.
Absolutely. Now we're going to shift gears a little bit, kind of go back in time earlier this year. You got your first Monster Nationals championship, kind of a long time coming. That's got to feel good to get that. You had a stacked field of trucks against you all year long. So now you're kind of riding through the summertime. You're doing really good. How does it feel, though, carrying that championship on your shoulders now finally?
Well, I mean, it's great to finally get it, I guess. I mean, we've been, you know, back when Mark and, you know, Tim and all the boys were out there. I mean, we were battling then, too. You know, you'd lose a thing by a point or two or a couple. You know, it was always tight racing. And then George shook up his lineup this year. And, I mean, now Patrick's out there. And, you know, Bobby Holman and all those guys are there. So it was fun. I mean, you had to be consistent, even just winning. I mean, it just seemed like you could never get that point lead the way his point system is. I mean, so it was cool. There was a lot of pressure, but I was glad we got that taken care of up in Erie and not have to worry about this week coming up where we were split up, where we were going different directions. So, no, it's awesome. It's pressure, you know. I want to keep it, you know, I like to keep that. I like to keep going hard like we do, you know. It's just the nature of how we run. So, I don't know. We'll just keep it up.
There you go. Well, this Tailgator truck here, now we're almost at the 1-year anniversary, if we haven't already, of this truck making its debut last year. Am I correct?
Right, yeah. June was when we got the new truck going, you know, with the chassis. We ran the body on the old truck that first winter, but the new truck, it's actually a year. You know, June was the first, it's damn a year already. Excuse my French, but wow. Yeah, time's flying.
So it has been a year. So, I mean, how are you got to be happy with the truck. I mean, it even kind of carries a different stance than Big Dog does. I mean, it's a whole nother animal, no pun intended. Right. But, I mean, you got to be happy with it a year later now.
Oh, yeah, definitely happy with it. We changed up some sway bars, got new sway bars on this thing. And, you know, the dog seemed to lay in the corners real bad and want to roll, you know, where you're trying to do these donuts, where this thing really holds itself true. And, you know, that's going to get me in trouble one of these days, I'm sure. But as far as its driving, we got a different motor package, you know, different heads and stuff like that. So it changed a few things on the top side, and it's a little stronger than the other one. I don't know if it's a lot, but it definitely has a different tone to it, and it has a different attitude, and it is definitely a different animal. Yeah. That's for sure, man.
Outstanding. Well, good job today. Best of luck getting through all that. We'll see you out on the track tomorrow.
All right, thanks, man.
No problem, Doug. Take care. That's all from the Big Dog Pits.